What's up? This video is a part of a series about roads. These are driving tours of roads in Knoxville, and this specific video is about Chapman Highway. We are starting from downtown and we're working our way through South Knox, through Seymour, towards Sevierville. So enjoy. Let me know if you have questions. If there's roads that you definitely want me to video, let me know that too. All right, so just very quickly, we are starting from the Henley Street Bridge. That's where we start. When we cross over the Tennessee River and we go down Chapman Highway through all of this, and we go down, we go through Seymour, and then I take you to, I think, right to Hwy Drive. Let me just check. Yeah, so we go this far, essentially, well, just before it. Because once you get to this part, it's kind of redundant, so I felt like it was unnecessary to do all of that. But essentially, Chapman goes all the way into Sevierville, and then once we hit here, we're on 411. So what you are seeing today in this video is from downtown Knoxville, so here through Seymour until right about here, because again, all of this part is just redundant. So enjoy. All right, so we are crossing from Henley Street over, this is about to be the Henley Street Bridge. So Henley Street Bridge, Tennessee River, right over here on either side. To my left, to my right. Can't really see it in the camera, but that's the Tennessee River. So essentially, as soon as we get at this red light right up here, we are on Chapman Highway. So we're gonna drive Chapman Highway into Seymour, so you can get an idea of what exactly is Chapman Highway when people say like, oh, it's bad, what is it? So we have crossed from downtown Knoxville into South Knoxville. So South Knoxville, as you can see, is just across the river. These are brand new apartments. These are literally brand new apartments, not even open yet. Then the ones also here to the left are brand new as well. These orange and white ones are more student housing, where the one Riverwalk on the other side, those are more, like, I'm sure they have got students in them, but also you would have, you know, more traditional renters. So over here, to the left where my finger is, that's Kern's Bakery, and that is a new food hall that's just opened up this year in 2024. So just some more development. There's a big apartment complex behind Kern's. So what you're gonna see is, like I said, a bunch of just development, and now you're gonna see just, you know, Wendy's, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, all this stuff. So this is still in town. This is still South Knox, but pretty much what we're gonna see is all of South Knox into Seymour and then into Sevier County. Right now we are in Knox County, so a couple of things to take note of this road. You've got 4 main lanes and then a turning lane. There's quite a bit of development right now on Chapman Highway, where you're going to see this as we go further down Chapman Highway, where there is no turn lane. And so when people say that maybe Chapman Highway isn't great, what they're really talking about is that there's not a lot of room for error, especially as we get further down. You can also probably tell like this road is kind of rough. And there's a lot of potholes that have been filled. If you look right here to my left, that's Aretha Frankenstein's. That's a restaurant that's opened this year. It's a really great brunch spot. And then you can see, you know, older stuff on either side that's been here for a long time. You're also seeing some empty buildings, some stuff that's no longer open, etc. So certainly this is an area where we're having kind of a revival and investment dollars back into the area and the community. So this intersection coming up straight ahead, this is Moody Avenue. If you were to look at a map, Moody Avenue is, if we turn left here on Moody, that's going to take us to the Baker Creek Preserve. So for my mountain bikers out there, it is right down Moody. That's also towards IAMS Nature Center. That's also towards Sono Taco. That will loop back around to James White Parkway, which would take us also back downtown. So as we're coming down Chapman, if you were to look on a map, the number that you would see is 441. So if you're like, where are we on a map? You're going to look from downtown Knoxville and you're going to look for 441. West Young High, this is where South Doyle is now our high school for South Knox, but it used to be two different high schools, Doyle and Young. That is Kroger. That's the first grocery store that we've seen since we've crossed into South Knoxville. Woodlawn, this is a popular South Knox street, and there's also Woodlawn Cemetery. If you turn on Woodlawn here, that's where Sugar Cream Creamery is up a block. But anyways, again, just more. If we turn back this way to the left on Woodlawn, that's going to take us back again to Baker Creek Preserve, Sono Taco, loop back around to Sevier Avenue. But we're going to continue going down Chapman. So average traffic, according to stats from 2023, around 30,000 people per day traveling down Chapman Highway. And you can see just like a typical strip mall here. And then on my left is the first gym, which is Planet Fitness. It's relatively new. It's probably 3 or 4 years old at this point. But that's kind of the first gym, box gym, I'll say, in Chapman. So if you've noticed, we no longer have that middle turn lane, and we've just got the 4 lanes with the double yellow down the middle. And so when people say, like, you know, Chapman Highway's bad, I think that what they're talking about more so is it is heavily trafficked and there's not a lot of room for error. And so a lot of times, like, I'm always just driving in this right hand lane simply because there is no turn lane. And you can even see at this light up here, someone is turning left into that apartment complex, but there's no turn lane. And so if you're not paying attention, if people behind you aren't paying attention, it can be a little squirrely. And right now we are now going through an area called Colonial Village. Super cute little area. Really, really great place. Lots of value rising those houses. You also have an area called Lake Forest, but this is kind of this Colonial Village area. That Commonplace Coffee we just passed, that's another new location, a great coffee shop. And then you're just seeing, you know, motels, strip malls, some stuff closed, some stuff open. And then you've got, this is a new Thai restaurant, even though it says K's Ice Cream, it's actually a Thai restaurant. There's like a cake shop over there to the left. You've got some used cars stuff, and then again noticing that there is no turn lane. We are 4 lanes, double yellow, right down the middle. And then as basically we're going to run into construction in a little ways down on Chapman where they are widening it. There's plans right now. The most recent article I found was from March of this year, March of 2024, saying that construction and widening is supposed to end sometime in 2025. So TBD. If I turn left, that's actually the second big box gym. There's a Gold's Gym there, and that's kind of the original big box gym that used to be a Rush. Back in the day, Gold's bought out the Rushes, or I guess the Rushes sold out. I don't know who bought or who sold, but all the Rushes are now Gold's Gyms. So that's one of our bigger, more like chain franchise gyms in the area. Planet Fitness has come in, as well as Anytime Fitness. So again, you're noticing curves, you're noticing not a lot of room for error. Stay in your lane, basically. But traffic is moving, right? Now, at the time of this video, it's July. It's a Monday afternoon in July at 4:30. If I were a little later, maybe about 30 more minutes, this traffic might be a little bit more heavy. Certainly there are times when I've been here in rush hour and, you know, it can get backed up. But really, that's if there's a wreck or something. If there's a wreck, you're kind of stuck. There are some side roads you can take off of. There's Yield Steakhouse, little South Knox OG restaurant. That's also where Shay and I had our first date. Shout out to Yield. You can take a back road, like if you get stuck on Chapman because of a wreck, there are back roads you can cut across. I wouldn't say that they're necessarily more speedy. You just feel like, oh, I'm going somewhere, even though you're adding like miles to your travel. So now we're coming into almost nearly the very end of Knox County. Like, we've got about 7 minutes to go truly until we're at the end of the county line. But the reason why I know that is because I live just past the county line. That's why I know it's 7 minutes. But we're coming into kind of the last major area. To the left, behind that Walgreens sign, there's a Walmart, there's a Home Depot. So that's all over there to the left. And you've got a couple restaurants here. And then just over this hill, you've got Starbucks, Lowe's, a little boutique called Pink and Proper, super cute. There's a Food City, there's a Carm store, which is like a kind of like a Goodwill, a CVS, there's a Dutch Brothers that just opened Salsarita. So all of this kind of area is kind of your last, it sounds dramatic to say your last bit of civilization. Okay, but that's kind of what it feels like until you get to Sevierville. So, I mean, and then this right here, this is John Sevier. So if you take John Sevier that way, that's going to take you to Alcoa Highway, which is going to kind of a secondary way to get to West Knox, because you can take Alcoa Highway to Topside. You could also go to downtown this way. I don't know why you would do that, but you know, if you don't want to take Chapman, you would go all the way down Sevier and then back up. But Chapman Highway would make more sense for sure. So Chick-fil-A up here, McDonald's, Sonic, all those things, Wendy's. The Starbucks is to my left. And then you've got this shopping center with Lowe's over here and Food City and all that. There's your Starbucks there. And then ahead to the left, you've got a Freddy's. And then you've got the brand new Dutch Brothers. Literally just opened maybe 2 months ago. Maybe. Chick-fil-A, which let's check out the line. Nothing too crazy right now. Not too crazy. It does get pretty insane around lunch and dinner time. And then this light could also take you to 11 East. So this is also John Sevier, your access to John Sevier here at this light. So you could turn here. We could go towards Alcoa, or we could go to like Strawberry Plains area, Jefferson City. That would take you to 11E, going east towards Morristown. When it comes to houses, obviously not a ton of houses right on Chapman Highway, more commercial. You've got, you know, one or two every now and then. But for the most part, what you find is commercial, business, restaurants, etc., churches, stuff like that. Not a ton of houses. Now you have, you know, turn-ins to a neighborhood or whatever, but not, you know, just not a straight up house. Although right there is an example of one, which eventually that'll probably become all commercial as well. As South Knoxville grows, certainly just the time that I've lived in Seymour, which is where we're headed, you know, all of this is new. Everything's new. We didn't have a Starbucks. We had the Walmart. We had the Home Depot. We had the Lowe's. But all of this stuff is all newer, you know, 5 years or less. So that's kind of cool. And there's a new Covenant Health hospital. That's new. That's new as of late 2023, early 2024. And then, you know, you're seeing green, you're seeing trees. But again, we've got 4 lanes. There's no turn lane in the middle. No median, nothing like that. So, which is fine. But when people allude to Chapman Highway and, you know, they're making comments, this is typically why. So as I mentioned, if there's a wreck or something, you can kind of, like this Tipton Station, we could turn here and get to my house from Tipton Station. But of course it's adding minutes. So often, if this is backed up, if there's a wreck or something, I will just stay on Chapman Highway because, you know, it's going to be winding roads. It's going to be, I don't think it actually ends up being shorter. It just makes you feel like you're doing something because you're moving. This is Love Days Garden Center up here. Get all your flowers and produce and all the things there. You do have some random like one-off houses up here on the right, but most of those are now businesses as well. Like those are both businesses. Tattoo place, and then there's a salon up here. Another used car lot on the left. The old Love Days right there. Another used car lot. And then you're starting to see the yellow cone. So This is all under heavy construction here. It's been like this maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 months. So this is part of the widening this corner. Again, it's tight, it's windy. You gotta look alive. So understanding is that they're widening this, and there will be a turn lane in the middle. So right now it seems like we're very far from that, although there is a wider median on the left side. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So we are now coming towards this area where we are is now where people would consider this is Seymour, although this is still we are still in Knox County. So, but most native South Knoxvillians would say that we are now in Seymour. You've got a driving range here, which I've been to several times. And then another strip mall here to the left is what's called Bowerfield Park. There's actually right now some petitioning going on because a developer has bought that and is likely going to put in apartments. So there's some petitioning against that at the moment as we're making this. So TBD, we'll see what happens with that. So we are still in Knox County, although we are coming very close to the Blount County, Sevier County line. So Seymour is where we are now. Seymour, in case you haven't seen any of those other videos, is a combination of 3 counties, Knox, Blount, and Sevier. And straight ahead is Sevier. Blount is kind of off to the left, and the Knox County is essentially behind us. We're about to pass the line, and then I want to point out to you the top of this hill. These are new construction townhomes in the 380s. They're built by Turner Homes. These are brand new, not even finished yet. But just pointing to those because we are seeing development, all the way out South Knoxville as far as Seymour, almost to the county line. So up here on the right, you're going to see a green sign, and it's behind the trees, but literally right there. We are now in Seymour officially, but also we are now out of Knox County, and we are now in Blount County. So just want to point out, like, if you look straight ahead, I know the camera doesn't show very well, but you've got mountains. Now we can see the mountains. That mountain right there is Bluff Mountain. So we're heading to the mountains to Sevierville. And so from the time I started to right now, that's 18 minutes from downtown Knoxville to Seymour, essentially. So that's one of the things that people like about Seymour is while there's not a Costco here, there's not a Target, there's not all that stuff, it is extremely convenient to get to downtown. And so this sign is saying we are now Blount County, but that's actually, it's a little bit behind us. So Blount County, and then wait for it. Notice we do have a turn lane now. This little section, teeny little part. And then we're going to see a sign that says Seymour. I think it says beautiful mountain views or something. It's literally up here on the right. Welcome to Seymour. Gorgeous views, great people. Sevier County now. We are now in Sevier County. So just like that, we're in Sevier County. Now, this is more of the same, but you can tell that it's more wide open spaces than when we were driving through South Knox. So just want to point out that to you. So what's going to happen is as we go through Seymour is going to stay a 4-lane road. Again, no turn lane here. Now we're going to go up this hill, and they have widened that. They've added a turn lane, and they've actually added some traffic lights as well. But essentially what happens is if we were to go all the way into Sevierville, that's going to take us to, and I'll show you this when we get there, but basically you've got a section that it goes down to 2 lanes, and then you have this kind of shift over where you can go around people. And so that's actually new. That relatively, probably 2 years, maybe 3 years it's been that way. And it was not like that for a very, very long time. And people were not happy because it was a change, but I actually think it's for the best. So here to the right, we have a Kroger, and then we're gonna have a Food City to the right, up a little bit. But as you can see, you've got another Casey's, you got a Wendy's. I mean, this shopping center here has a Craven Wings, and it has Seymour Nutrition, and there's a Mexican restaurant. We have a Petro's here, which is relatively new over on this side. The Dunkin' Donuts is on the left, the Waffle House is on the left. So, and then this road, Macon, you could take this road and cut to Maryville. Most people would take 411, which I'll show you that as we get up here. So there's your, I don't know if you've noticed the tent tops. We just had 4th of July, and we've passed probably 6 or 7 firework tents, because you cannot buy fireworks in Knox County. So just past that, or I guess you can't sell them. You can't sell fireworks in Knox County, I guess what it is technically. So we have a bunch of people that put tents up starting in June and sell fireworks for the 4th of July. So now, this is another great view over this hill. I drive this hill every morning, headed to the gym, and on a super clear day, it's just all mountains right there. It's beautiful. So this is all Smoky Mountains, foothills of the Smokies. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's my little gym here on the right. And you can see here, now we have this, lane down the middle, turn lane. And you can see like there's sidewalks here. This is a better driving situation, certainly, than parts of Chapman closer into town. Little sheriff. Another big intersection here. So this intersection coming up is 411. I don't know if you can see all the green signs there. But basically it's saying if we go straight, we're going to Sevierville. If we turn right, we're going to Maryville. And if we turn left, we're also going to Sevierville, but more to like the Kodak side, where straight is going to take you to Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg. But yeah, certainly Maryville would be if we were turning right. That's 411 is the name. And actually 441, which is Chapman Highway, turns into 411 once you get into Sevierville. This intersection to me is, I dislike it. I feel like it's always crazy busy. Why? I can't say. I guess because you've got the traffic coming from this way. But this, if we turned here, that would take us straight to Maryville. And then if I turn left here, like I said, that's going to take you towards Boyd's Creek, Sevierville, more towards the beginning of the parkway, kind of. And by going straight here, this takes us directly into downtown Sevierville. So we are 23 minutes in from downtown Knoxville, and we're about probably 20 minutes to Sevierville. I'm not going to take you all the way down just because it's literally, I'm going to show you what it's like, and then you're going to get the picture. You're going to get the idea, because it's going to be like the same thing over and over again for probably 15 minutes, which you may already be bored. But if you made it this far, I mean, hopefully it's been helpful. Hope you got a good idea of what Chapman Highway is like and the transition from Knoxville into Seymour. So still we've got 4 lanes with a turn lane. This is like a straight road. This is easy, right? Feels safe, etc. There's Food City, Snappy Tomatoes, KFC, you got Taco Bell up here on the left, etc. We're getting closer to the mountains. Now you can see pretty clearly that we've got mountains straight ahead. So still Seymour, Sevier County, end of Seymour. Little neighborhood back there. I don't know if you can tell that, but and then you've got like there's a neighborhood turnoff here. We've actually passed several different little neighborhood turnoffs, but this Bojangles is new for this year, 2024. Then you see the mountains. Beautiful. Strip malls, urgent care, Seymour First Baptist. This is a great walking trail. It's like 0.8 miles. It's paved. It's awesome. Apartments, you can see houses in the distance. We are not really in an area, even though we are close to Sevierville, where you're seeing short-term rentals. we are not there yet. This is all primarily residential, and this is people that are living here full time. This is not really like a vacation home area. That's another thing that people like about Seymour, is you are still very close to the mountains, but you are not in the tourist craze. We're getting every freaking light. This is a newer neighborhood over here. I don't know if you can see through the camera, but straight ahead. Those are 2010-ish built homes. And then you do have a newer construction neighborhood over there as well. We do have D.R. Horton, who has built a little bit here and has another neighborhood coming in towards the end of 2024 as it stands. And to Seymour, at least. I mean, they're obviously building all over. But okay, now we're going to see a big transition from 4-lane. You're going to see people start to get over, including myself, once this car comes around me, because I don't think he wants to be behind me. But essentially this shifts into, well, he's not coming, so we're going to go. This shifts into a more narrow road. You can see already on that side, it's 1 lane. Because it's less traffic, I guess, coming in than going out, essentially. And what they've done is you've got this middle turn lane, and then what happens is we decrease down into 3 lanes total. Now, it does not stay like this the whole time, but for a good chunk of traveling down this part of Chapman Highway, headed into Sevierville, you see this 3-lane situation. Once we get through this part, it's going to spread back out into 4 lanes, and there is an actual median down the middle. But really what you have is, I don't necessarily even consider these as winding. I guess it's curvy. But right here, if you look straight ahead, you can see you've got 1 lane coming on the left. And then what happens is this splits into 2, with the idea that you're going to pass somebody if the person in front of you is too slow, or if you're too slow, you're going to get over and let someone pass you. This is, like I said, new. It's not been like this for years and years. When they first did this, it was kind of a big uproar, and actually I think it's worked out fine. And I'm sure they're like, we told you so. But anyways, that's pretty much Chapman Highway. We are still on Chapman Highway, but it's gonna be like this for a while, and I don't think it's necessary to show you that, but this is gonna take us straight into downtown Sevierville. So I hope this has been helpful. I'll see you next time.